Hey, I'm Dr. Kerry Horrell. I'm a psychologist here at the Menninger Clinic. This can be really hard, but the very first step I would suggest anybody take is to listen, is to try to be really thoughtful about your response. It's understandable that parents might have all sorts of responses to their kids sharing about their sexuality. I think one of the most important things that a parent can do is to try to slow down any reactions. Know that there's a time and a place for them to process those, but in that moment, just listen and try to hear what your kid is sharing. A supportive environment looks like one where you're listening, you're open, you're accepting. I really think a lot of kids are fearful that if they share information about their sexuality with their family, they're going to be rejected, criticized, even abandoned. And so to let your kid know, I am here, I'm not going anywhere, I'm curious, I'm interested in hearing what you have to say, are some of the most important things you can do when your child is talking to you about these issues. There are lots of different ways that parents might feel and respond in a moment when their child is sharing something like this. Some things that can be harmful is immediately getting critical. Things like, that's not okay, or I don't feel okay about this. There's also a way in which parents might want to say something like, oh, we knew that, or oh, we expected this. And what we've heard from kids is that actually doesn't feel very good either. And so I think that trying to stay in that place of listening and curiosity, and really also letting your kid know that you're grateful that they're opening up about this, is the best place to start. Acceptance plays a huge role in your teen's mental health. I really don't feel like this can go understated. This is something so important for a kid to feel like it is okay, not only to be then exploring and to be thinking about their identity, but to feel like in doing so, they're not going to lose the support and the care they have in their family. So being able to say, we're here, we're with you, we see you, and we're not going anywhere, can make kids feel so contained and loved. And again, it opens up that door for exploration. Sexuality, gender, these are just parts of our identity, and especially during the teenage years, these are pretty big parts of our identity. And so these are things that kids are thinking about a lot. Teens are processing, they're hearing from their friends, they're talking about, they're having new experiences. And so first and foremost, this is normal that this is top of mind for teenagers. Another part is that for teenagers, these things do shift and change. Our gender and our identity and our sexuality, they can be pretty fluid. And so as kids are beginning to open that door and be looking around and be thinking about how it fits for them, it can shift and change. And so really being open about your kid's identity can be really helpful, because they can know that it's okay if maybe I thought I was feeling this way, but as I'm learning, I'm really more feeling this way. That doesn't mean that what they were feeling was invalid, but ultimately that these things take time to learn and to sort of settle into. Again, it's really understandable to have questions or to be curious or uncertain about your kid's identity, especially around things like gender and sexuality. I think one of the most important things to do is to be grappling with those questions away from your child. Those are things that you want to talk with other parents about. Talk to therapists or people who are experts in the field, people like who run LGBTQ+ centers. Find support groups, but really talk with other people who are parents and try to kind of keep that separate than talking through this with your child. Most cities have a LGBTQ+ resource center. Like here in Houston, we have the Montrose Center. There are also a plethora of different online resources. There's things like WPATH, the World Professional Organization for Transgender Health. The Trevor Project is a really cool website that has lots of resources about the gay, lesbian, bisexual identities. And there's lots of resources online to start with. The coming out process and sharing about these parts of your identity is incredibly vulnerable. It takes a lot of courage and bravery to start talking about these things. Even if you know that these are going to be hard conversations, they are important ones to have, especially with supportive adults in your life. It opens the door to you being able to talk through some of this, to get advice, to get some guidance on how to handle these things, and ultimately being able to talk openly about parts of our life or how we learn about them and feel more settled in them. So during this Pride Month, I want to say, open up to someone who you trust. Talk about these parts of your life. It can be really important.